Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Still Talking Podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Smith. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We have a special guest with us in the studio today. We have a couple. With me, as always, one of my co-hosts.
Max Harris is with us today.
Yeah.
Brenner had to be a father, and he had stuff to do, so we had to roll out for this interview.
Yeah.
Today, we have Gary Wilbanks with us. He's the striking coach for 501 Fight Club, and he coaches
Avery Wilson, who is with me right here. Avery, these hands Wilson.
Shout out. What's up?
Jaden Webb.
Hood
Avery's
Rat.
the 265 heavyweight champion, and Jaden's actually the 225 flyweight champion.
125.
125. I'm sorry, I said 225. I did that the other day. I said someone was 125 or 128. They were definitely 228.
Yeah.
Anyway, Avery's actually the 265, the heavyweight champion, and Jaden is the 125 flyweight champion, and Gary's the striking coach.
Thank you for coming on today, my guy.
What's up, man? What's up?
Thank you for coming in. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll just jump right into it.
Well, shoot. I'm Gary. I've been doing this about, almost 5 years now? Up there, yeah. After BB martial arts. I don't know, I just picked up the mitts one day and started doing it, and then we just been doing it since then, man. Shoot, it's been fun. I know that.
Did you used to fight or anything?
Man, I wanted to fight, but it never, I messed my back up, and it was just so I
Never
could,
materialized.
yeah, so I kind of had to make a choice, you know. So,
You're a coach, man.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
What do you do to overcome yourself with that?
Overcome what?
Like with all that pain and stuff.
I do some yoga stretches, I do some physical therapy.
Yeah.
You know, I got Andrew that, massage therapist that helps me out and stuff like that.
Shout out.
Yeah. I mean, people help me out.
So shout out, me and Max actually coached a Little League team together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was kind of a bad deal. We kind of got all the kids that did get picked for the other teams.
Oh man,
There was like 6 teams, and there was 5 teams in the league, and there was 3 travel teams.
And they were just signing up.
And then there was 2 teams of the kids that none of the travel teams wanted, and we split those kids. and then we just got slaughtered by the travel teams.
Revenge
And then
formers.
There was a team that had 2 girls and they beat us by 20.
yeah, man, it was terrible. I was like, because I was talking to coaches, and they were like, "No, this kid's been playing together, probably 4 years." I'm like, they're like 12.
Yeah.
This whole group of kids been playing together. They've won like 4 championships. I'm like,
Yeah, that's how I was when I was a kid.
oh
Yeah.
my god, like shit blew me
Me
away.
too.
But it was really cool because we had a great group of kids. You know what I mean?
No,
Coaching,
they were really cool.
Right on.
Coaching
yeah.
teaches you a lot. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
it does.
and it's really rewarding too. You know what I mean? And it definitely has to be rewarding. Like we got both the titles on you right now because like you're the coach of both these guys, man. You got
You
You feel any
champions.
pressure on
Yeah.
that to keep them sharp?
Man, actually, yeah. I mean, a little bit.
Keep you on edge. You
Yeah,
can't
I'm
let up
always-
on them.
Man, I'm always trying to come up with, new combos, and, it's like, they'll show me something, and it's like, all right, well, let's do this then. Let's see, let's see what it's like. And then, I mean, I'm still learning too. I mean,
Yeah.
I've only been doing this for just really a short time, to be honest with you. And, man, I'm loving every bit of it. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey man, you just gotta kind of roll with it sometimes.
Hell yeah,
And that's
yeah,
how it happened for
yeah.
us. We were like, we have to coach these kids, man. We just have to
Yeah.
do it sometimes.
Yeah, cause man, that's how it kind of happened with Avery. Avery just randomly just one day, he's like, "Hey, come over here with me," and I was like, "Okay, let's do this." And then, we've been doing it ever since.
Spent a lot of hours in
Yeah,
the garage.
a lot of hours in the
Spent a
garage.
lot of hours in the garage.
Yeah, all the stuff that people don't see actually.
Mhm.
It's a lot of time, and a lot of dedication, and people just really don't understand when actually how much time it actually takes.
People don't want to
To try to perfect something. I mean, because it's a lot of dedication. It really is.
And it's one of those things that like people don't understand, but you can tell when there's like a bound between fighters where like there's fights that we even saw at PF4 where like there's a guy who was a legit fighter and there's kids who had like that they didn't put in the work. They weren't you know what I mean? They weren't ready.
Yeah.
There were guys that were leaps and bounds more ready than other guys because they put in that work and that extra day and that extra hour, that extra rep.
You know what I mean? They did.
Exactly.
You can't fabricate it. You gotta.
Every little
Yeah,
thing.
you got to put in the work. You got to. I mean, because if you don't, then you're just really setting yourself up. I mean, you really are.
In high school, my head football coach, R.I.P. Shout out to him. He passed recently, but he broke it down to us like, even if you make this simplest of goals, you know what I mean? Like he broke it down to us. He was like 90 inches. That's all you need. 4 plays, 90 inches apiece, and that's a first down. He was like, if we can get 90 inches every snap, we'll be fine. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the premise. Even the smallest goal, you know, even like Don, he made that speech. You know what I mean? He said it doesn't matter how slow you go, just don't stop. Man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even the smallest goal, every time you do it, just push a little bit harder. You know, every time you push yourself a little bit farther, you know what I mean? Every little bit extra, you know, it really pays off in the long run.
Exactly. It really does. It really does.
I was watching the Kobe documentary, and he was like talking about waking up at 4 a.m. and he was like, I've been getting in that one extra practice for all these years. And he said, so all these guys that aren't doing it, when they realize that they need to be doing it, even no matter how much work they do in the summer, they'll never catch me. He said, these guys are never going to catch me because I've been doing this. He said, so by the time they realized I was doing it,
I'm so far ahead that they can't even catch up.
Man,
Exactly.
mentality.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh yeah.
But
I guess we'll jump in. Tell us Avery's biggest attribute, or no, I'm sorry, his biggest strength.
Boy, he's got some power in his hands. That's I will say that.
You
You ever make your wrist hurt?
Man, my whole shoulder. I mean,
Feel like you dog out of socket?
yeah, it will. I just tell him to chill out every now and then. You know, I've even had like a shoulder injury. You know, like just being injured and just like do jujitsu. And then, I mean, like, I ain't lying. It just feel like my shoulder was over there.
yeah.
What,
You know,
what
like
punch
down
does he throw that really just like has the most force?
Is it like a jab or like a hook? Or is it,
You're just like, man, I hate when he gets to this
Or is
part
it
of the
that
combo.
uppercut?
Man,
Punches
a 3 or 4 or even the overhands. I mean, just you don't even the 2s. I mean, he's got to.
break that down for everybody, because I was saying not a lot of people. I just learned that recently, like 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Okay, so 2 is like a right hand, overhand, then the 8's like an overhand right. The 3s and 4s are like the hooks and yeah. So is his 2s, his 8s, and his 3s and 4s. So you don't,
And that uppercut that I saw in that first one was pretty
Oh
funny.
yes,
I'm just unpredictable.
He's really
it's really not
All
like
his-
any punch is specifically the punch that's gonna knock you out. It's the unpredictableness is what makes me such a key fighter.
Yeah.
The one that can't.
Like we were talking about, is like you land accurate punches, so
Oh,
it probably
yeah.
doesn't really matter what
Yeah.
punch you're throwing,
Yeah.
because you're landing it
Exactly.
accurately in spot
Yeah.
with fucking force.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you got that pop, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And we work that every single day, so that's why the unpredictableness is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like we were talking about with Jaden. You got to do it every day. You got to work it. You got to have your arsenal. Like we were talking about, he was doing that shit that no one's seeing. You know what I mean? Like you got that in your arsenal. You got that barrage of punches, and if you didn't work them every day, you couldn't throw those punches
Yeah,
with that
exactly.
technique. And
Like
you know
that.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and that's all with the combos that Gary comes up with. I mean, this dude is, coming up with a range of combos that's, simulates a real fight, but at the same time, you could be countering, you could be, putting pressure, avoiding pressure. Those are the things
In
that
and
he
out.
does.
I mean, it all
He's so
depends on-
technical
Yeah.
every time, that he's working with us, and that's what makes it special.
And like you said, you guys have been working together almost 4 years, and you
Yeah.
guys build that
Been doing it a long
relationship to
time.
him.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, you know,
How to coach him, because when you see
We
a
just know
fighter
each
doing
other.
something, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, Avery's gonna react this way when he does that, because you know. So you're like, all right, he needs to do that. You know what I mean? You guys have that rapport, and you know.
for sure.
Like you're gonna know the times when you need to be like, hey man, you got this. Just keep your head up. And there's gonna be times you be like, hey, you need to quit fucking around, and you need to put your head down. You know what I mean? You know him, so
Yeah.
you know what to
Exactly.
give him and what he needs.
And it's been like that too. Even it's like, bro, you know what you're supposed to do.
For sure.
Come on.
there's a time when you gotta just push them, and there's a time when you gotta be like, man, we need to get
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
and buckle. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's like, you want that title, right? You want to keep that title? I mean, this is what I was,
Be hyping
I would
us
say
up.
this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were talking about how cool it was at Peak that there were guys at PF4 that there were guys that didn't have coaches, and there were coaches like Chris Sorrell and a couple other guys that were like totally willing to corner guys and help them, stuff like that. But I bet it's a huge asset that you guys have that relationship, and you guys have worked together every day, and
Yeah.
you've been his corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you feel like your boy has you back when you're out
Yeah.
there. Too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
Yeah.
he's right there. And you,
Definitely.
Yeah.
it's like if I had a corner,
Definitely.
If I had to, like, if I was in your position and I had to pick a coach, I would want Max to be my friend, because he's been my friend almost 10 years. He knows me better than anybody. You know what I mean? I would want him to train with me every day. That would be, I mean, you want someone that you can trust.
Exactly.
Yeah, but also shout out to those fighters that are doing it on their own. But really, if you're an independent fighter, you really, really should look for a gym to join, and you know, so you can actually get that bond and move on to the next step. You know, we're always looking for new fighters at 501 Fight Club, and we're willing to, you know, invest in those fighters. So come and try us out.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's about, and I just think it's so cool. Like the whole culture. Like I said, it's such a violent sport in between the bells, but like outside of it, man, the coolest, like I've said it a million times, but the coolest part to me was that everybody was dapped up. Everybody was like love. Everybody was giving everybody hugs. It was like, man, it was cool. Like
sisterhood too.
Like Obed Adoran when he fought Tyler Stewart, he was like overcome when he lost, man. He was just like on his knees, and Tyler rolled up and was just like, hey, got down and was like, hey, man.
You're a fucking warrior, dude. Like, you went the rounds with me. You put up a fight, you know. It was,
Man, just stepping in that thing, dude.
the amount of
takes a lot.
respect and the amount of mutual camaraderie blew me away. How awesome everybody was just, you know.
You can tell there were guys that weren't really like super, but everyone put on for the most part. It was pretty cool, you know. Even though some guys had issues, like I said, Aiden, and they even dapped up, and that was cool. So that was the coolest thing about how cool everybody's been. You know what I mean? And
that shows you where they are at a level in their career. You know, those people, fighters that are walking around all cocky, you know, they haven't really reached that humbleness in their career. So, you know, once they get to that level and they start to understand what this game is actually about.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
that's one thing that we've been trying to push, man, is that like we, you know what I mean? We don't expect anything from anybody. Like, we never expected you guys to do this or to do any of the things that you guys, we didn't even expect you guys to participate with us. You know, we just appreciated the level that everyone's, you know, we're just trying to, I've said it a bunch of times. I think I said it in your interview, but there's so much talent around here and in Arkansas and in the South, and I feel like there's been a cap specifically in Arkansas, whether it was like music or anything. But here in the last 5-6 years, we really had people getting out there.
You know, we had that rapper that kind of really started it, but he got killed in Vegas.
Shout out Bankroll Freddie though. He's doing a mixtape with Dolph.
Yeah, Bankroll
Freddie, and then Moolah just signed a big deal. And, you know, I mean, we got some guys that are really doing some stuff, man. You know what I mean? And you know, they got 3 guys in the UFC: Thug Nasty, Luis Pena, right? If I'm not mistaken, and then
TJ Brown.
Yeah, okay, that
You
guy.
got Thomas Gifford was in the UFC.
Oh, really?
You know, you got Justin Frazier. He was in the UFC. I mean, there's several fighters around here.
Big shout out Justin Frazier. My boss actually knows him. We're trying to get in touch with him and get him on.
For sure.
Yeah, talk to him. But yeah, we had 3 fighters in the UFC, and then Solo signed to Bellator, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. A bunch of cool stuff's been going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of good fighters are getting signed. Arkansas is starting to get the recognition it deserves, but
I'm just really glad that like there's a lot of guys with titles that we've met, and like I said, I'm just not like a big fan of like the heels. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of like Conor McGregor or like guys like that. Like, I'm not a big fan of like Colby Covington, stuff like that. Like, I like the fact that like pretty much every champion I've met, like,
I mean, everyone's super laid back.
Right on.
Everyone's been super like, I'm trying to help get you guys out.
out on my platform. You know what I mean? We're growing. We're kind of taking off. We're doing our thing, and you know what I mean. I just feel like I was saying, there's so much talent, and if we work together, we can actually do something with it.
Oh yeah.
You know, my premise is if you got 100 fans, I got 100 fans. Let's do something, and then we might cop
Out, you got 150, I got 150, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the premise. You just want to overlap your markets, man. You guys are trying to market yourself. Like I said, BB and Cersei are obviously, you know what I mean. They bum rushed our stuff. You know what I mean? For sure, we appreciate the love, man. We had a community solid about we were solid for about like 125 plays across all platform, every download, which is really awesome for our first 3 months. And once we got, you know, started doing this and doing stuff with the gyms, man, it's been blowing up. Our views are riding through the roof, man. We appreciate that for sure. It's been it's been really awesome working with everybody, most definitely. But so tell us about Jaden. What's Jaden's biggest like asset? Like, what's his biggest?
He's fast. I mean, you gotta watch out for him. He's fast and he knows what he's doing.
That's so weird.
He's young and he's still like, you know, I promise he's a vet. Even though he's so young.
Yeah, he's been around.
I mean, he's been doing it for so long.
And the crazy thing, like it's like no disrespect to Jaden, he's in the studio. he's not even done fully developing physically as an athlete. You don't stop developing until you're like 23 or 24. Dude, he's got like 5 more years of developing his body, and he's gonna be, and he's already got the technique. Like, dude, like I said,
That's what I
Good,
say.
right?
And like with
serious,
Jaden
man.
Webb, man, like I call him just a rare breed. Like he's a whole other new breed. Yeah, because he just grew up in it, and that's all he knows.
there's guys like I said.
I'm telling you, watch out for him.
We've been saying like there's guys on a level, and then there's guys. There's like a break where, like I said, you got the guys who train, and like you're saying, and you got the guys who are on that whole other level, dude. And you guys got 2 of them in the studio, man. Got them here,
I'm telling
And
you,
you can-
gotta hop on now.
And it's like
on the bandwagon wise.
you might not know it if you're not we're here because I'm a huge MMA fan. Like I love it. I'm a huge fan at heart. Like the best part for me was being down by the cage. Like it was hard for me to keep getting shots because I was just watching the fights, man. It was such a good time.
You get lost in it so much,
Yeah.
so
And-
easily, and it's just
When you're like in that position, and like I'm such a huge fan. Like when I watch the fights, like if you've been a fan for a length of time, you can watch their fights and be like, this guy's got, like I said, that star power. They got that. They got that. They finish, man. They got that star power. That they own the ring. You know what I mean? It's like all eyes on them from the moment they get in, dude. You know, it really is. They're just stars, man. I think they're really gonna do something.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really cool. Like I said, we were in here like, we just put the big screen up. It was me and my dad. It wasn't them. It was me and my dad. Yo, we were in here and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm checking out these guys' fights and stuff. The guys that are coming on. We just talked to you guys, and we were watching. We were in here hyped, man. We loved it, dude. It was super dope."
But
right on.
so
Were these guys your first champions?
Yeah.
Avery, which one won the championship first?
Avery.
Avery won the championship first. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. So, you got any other guys that are coming up? Any other guys you're working with? Or?
Yeah. I mean,
any guys that are trying to start?
Yeah, actually,
Weston, definitely.
Yeah, Weston.
Weston's coming up.
we got a couple more other guys. I don't want to really say anything, but
Yeah. I mean,
We got
if
some,
they don't have a fight schedule, you know what I'm saying?
No.
But yeah, I just didn't know if you had anyone that was
we're working
like,
on some really good heavyweights right now that I cannot wait.
Yeah.
The twin towers, man. The twin Every time these boys get to banging, man. It's something special. I'm telling you, these boys train with me, and they're a rare breed. They're awesome.
Yeah.
that's
Really.
what a lot of
That's
guys,
exciting.
a lot of people don't understand that. Like, well, I always say a lot of people don't understand, but like a lot of people don't think about that. You can definitely tell the difference. You have to train. You have to have.
You got to.
You can't be like, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and then you're like, I got a fight book for 2 months from now. You know what I mean, man? You have to train. You have to be ready. You need to be in the right physical condition. Like you need. I feel like if I was to step in the ring and fight someone, I would want to be I would want to have like muscle memory. I would want to be able to roll with someone and have a sparring match and do like a full rotation of everything without having to think about it.
I would want, you know what I mean? You want to be able
that's
to just
gonna take
roll.
a long time to get up to that.
Like you
to be
said,
honest.
you guys been
Trained together 4 years, and he was training before that. You know what I mean? You gotta have. For me, I would want to be comfortable like that. I would want to be able to roll and not really just think about anything, just react. I would want to have that, and you have to, man. That's like a lot of these guys have been training their whole life. Like we were talking about the guys who don't come in with that dedication, that don't have that will, that drive. It shows, man. That's how you get dropped on the fucking mat. That's how you get. That's how you get that. Oh damn! Yeah, you don't want that,
or
dude.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on the other side of that
don't want
highlight
that.
reel, dude.
No.
That's
You don't need that on your.
I hate
You
making
don't.
the highlight reels for
for that because I know these guys and I got to know everybody. I hated making the
You
highlight.
highlight reels, man, because
Hey, man.
I'm
Man,
you know I'm
Don't take
making
it personal.
yeah
You
that's
can't
the
take
hard
it
part,
personal.
man.
Yeah.
You do,
Is I
man.
try
You-
not to show any favoritism, but like that's
These guys are all so cool. Man, I hate that. You know, it's
I mean, everybody takes a loss every now and again.
It's
You
gonna
know,
happen.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it
it's
happens.
not it's the way you get back up from it. You know, when you take the
Exactly.
loss.
There's somebody out there that can whoop your ass.
if any of the
yeah.
if any of the
Yeah.
fighters see this,
You're right.
that's not
to
to
say that any of the fighters on that card that was the case. Not anyone that got dropped or got beat. That wasn't. I wasn't specifically pointing out anyone.
Yeah,
But like
I know what you mean.
in the MMA scene, like you can tell, man. You know what I mean? There's training is key, man. You have to have. It takes that 7 days a week. It takes that whether it's since you worked all day and you got to hit the garage and do some shadow boxing and working, you know, whether it's you got
right there's what makes you or breaks you right there.
whether you got to get up before sunrise and take a run because you're not gonna have a chance, you know what I mean? That extra do it, man. That just shut up and get it done is what it takes, man.
Yeah, it's dedication.
Anywhere, even at work. I mean, so many times, Gary can back this up. How many times you see me at work, shadow boxing, you know, doing things, working footwork, head movement, everything I do, you know, just even if it's just passing something to somebody, you know, I'm doing it with movement. Like I'm always doing things.
We work and then we do working it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's always it's a lifestyle. You know, it's not just like I wake up in the morning like, oh, this is this, and then when 7 o'clock comes, oh, I'm a fighter now.
It's not a side gig. It's your life.
It's your life.
It's the lifestyle.
Anybody can make an excuse. The hard part is doing it. You know what I mean? To actually fucking show up and do it, man.
Show up every day. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like 90% of it. If you just show up, 90% of it's already done. You just gotta get your ass there.
That's the one thing that you got to really think about is like I said, like Avery's dropping these guys in the first round. He's putting in that 7 days a week for like maybe 15 at the most. You're a champion, so maybe 25, 45 minutes at the most. You know what I mean? That's where like to where you're fighting, and then you got the after fight kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're doing that for that small moment, you know what I mean? And dude, I can't even fucking imagine what it feels like. It's probably the best to drop somebody and then be like, this is the fucking title, you know what I mean?
Everything I just worked for these last months.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I guarantee you, every time we meet up, we're 2-hour sessions, you know? We're not 2 hours gym just to bullshit. I mean, we're in there, we're grinding, we're sweating, we're working, you know, we got a good, a good system.
It's great.
It's like I said, I think that it's so cool. Like people just, you know, when you do the 7 days a week, you know what I mean? I think that the payoff, I know that when I do all the work for this, and when like I said, it took me 20 hours straight in here, no breaks. He came over here for like an hour and a half, and we were hanging out. And then he left. But like, you know what I mean? For the most part, it took me like 20 straight hours in here, no sleep, to make that video. And it's like all the people that were like, dude, you did an awesome job, and everyone that was like all the shares and all the likes and all the cool stuff. It made it all worth it. I can't even fucking imagine what it feels like to knock somebody out, or like Jay tap that dude out, and then get in there and be like, "I'm the champ, bitch." You know what I mean? Like,
there's no feeling other than that.
So cool.
To hold that title up, like, cause like I said, no disrespect to anyone else. It's always kind of been that, like, the heavyweight champ is the champion of champions, dog.
Yeah. You know, the heavyweight's the big dog, you know what I mean? So dog. I can only imagine what it's like
to hold that and be like, I'm the baddest motherfucker in this building. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm the baddest motherfucker in this city, dog. You know, what's up? I can only imagine.
Shit, it puts a target on your back.
It really does, bro. And it's like everybody wants to fight me, but then once my promoter starts looking for a fight, it's like ghosts.
Everyone's on Twitter, and then they're like, oh, man, I tweaked this shoulder yesterday.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But now all of a sudden we do got some good heavyweights coming up, so it's like I got a little lineup for 2020. So I'm happy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Already
more opportunities for you.
And just a shout out just to you, man, real quick. That's a big testament. Like I said, that feeling has to be like on a whole nother level, and the fact that you're so grounded and you're such a nice guy and you're so cool, and like I said, we all got along super great. We just had like a super dope ass time last night. We all been hanging out. It's been really awesome, dude. And that's a big testament that you're not arrogant. If you are, you haven't showed it. You know what I mean? It's been he's done a really good job at hiding it if he's an asshole.
I'm humble, man. I try to be humble.
He's a super cool guy, man. It's just been, like I said, I never got any kind of arrogance or big head. You've just been real grounded. Been like, hey, man, this is what I do. You know what I mean?
Like, whatever happens.
It's what I do. You know, so I just show up and we do it. And I respect that.
As long as I know that I'm putting in the work and I'm holding up my end of the deal. Yeah. I'm gonna know in the end that I did everything I was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe in that.
Right on.
Max, you got any questions?
No, not really anymore.
Damn it.
So, you're good at all the time.
No, well, I ran into the microphone right
here.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. We usually have Brenner sitting there.
Yeah, it's usually
usually he don't yank the fucking earphone jack because he leaned back to take a drink.
Gary, so what's your biggest dream, brother?
My biggest dream?
As a coach, like what's your dream?
What would be the ultimate goal?
My biggest dream, man, is to
UFC heavyweight
To
champion.
see y'all make it.
UFC
I mean,
flyweight.
if y'all make it. I mean, that means I made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to
'Cause,
be able to walk
you know
out with
what I'm
y'all for the
saying?
pay
'Cause-
per view.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I want to see.
Look, dude.
You know, that's my dream.
That's our dream. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep at night, and I'm like, I'm just like waking up. You guys like walking down. We're like right behind you guys with the camera. That's my dream. We're like, all right, let's go. Like, dude,
Yeah, for sure.
That's like I said, it was the coolest thing ever, dude. Like when Mr. Webb came, when Master Webb came and was like, hey man, you guys want to walk down and like with them when they're coming down the aisle. I was like, dude, it was super awesome. Like, dude, it was really cool.
Hey, it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, it was our first show, so like I said, it taught us a lot. So like I feel like this next show is gonna be so much better because we have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I have better cameras now, and like we know what we're doing.
It's a learning experience. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We almost left our camcorder.
They don't want to talk about it.
Dude,
We had to go back and get it, and like sneak in the back door, and it was like,
Yeah, it was
that's how we got
awesome.
it. It was
I mean,
good.
Thank God.
but it worked out. But
It
yeah,
worked out. That's all
we
that
learned.
matters.
You know,
We got to Boogies, and we were finna go in Boogies for the after party, and we were like, oh
I was like,
shit,
where's the
camera?
camera? I got
I remember getting mad at Max like it was his fault, and then I was like,
And then I was like, damn it, I had the fucking camera.
I didn't have the red one, I had the blue
and then
one.
he was like, what are you talking about? Or no, because what it was is you had the blue one and I had the red one, and I switched you.
Yeah.
And then I set the blue one down. So I was like, where's the fucking blue camera, Max? And then he was like, I didn't have it. And I was like,
Damn it, you're right. I was so mad. I was like, damn it. I left
You're
it.
right.
I got more mad. I was like,
Fucking
my
my
dumb
fault.
ass.
left it. But yeah, since we got better cameras and stuff, I feel like it's gonna be a lot better experience. And we're gonna get like I said, we're gonna get another lens before then, and it's gonna. So we got a couple things in mind that are gonna make it like a game changer. You know what I mean? And,
Right on.
and since we can't do outright film, we're gonna do post and pre-fight
Interviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on questions, and we're
That'd
gonna
be cool.
because I had some.
Well, like I said, I wanted to film every minute of the fight because we had an opportunity to. But with this one, we're only going to be able to do pictures. So there's going to be times where I'm going to be able to leave both of these cameras with those guys, and then I'm going to be backstage. You know what I mean, or whatever it may be.
You'll at least be able to record though, like backstage and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that on camera.
I'm sure that we could work something out.
G2 Mitts, my guy.
So tell us, as far as like up to right now, coaching Avery, what's been the craziest like spot about being in his corner? What was the moment where you were like, oh man, like
The OSHA fight. The OSHA fight whenever. What was it? There was something at the OSHA fight. I was just nervous about the whole fight. I was just nervous about the whole fight.
oh, the OSHA fight was the championship.
Yeah, the title
Oh, the
fight.
OSHA fight was the championship.
I was just nervous. I was like a nervous wreck that night. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Just the whole thing. Because I was, technically I was trying to, learning my way too, and it's just like,
I can't remember.
man, it was
that
just
fight
crazy night.
Was that fight TKO or was that the submission?
That was submission.
Rear naked choke.
Yeah.
How did that go down? I can't remember.
We shut that whole place down for like 15 minutes after he won.
I'm telling you,
Like, dude,
that
like, the
place
whole
was filled with
crowd
so
was
much
crazy.
love. Oh my goodness,
mean-
it was in my hometown.
Yeah, Cabot, Arkansas. It was a pyramid. And man, I'm talking about after I won that fight, that place was electrified. I had never felt anything like that before. It brought tears to my eyes. I'm talking about that whole place just screaming my name, like it was overwhelming.
Peak's on a little bit of a smaller scale than Pyramid was, but I can attest it to like when Don won. Like I said, everyone from 501, everyone from OTC that's from Hot Springs, everyone from Hot Springs won. So when everybody from Hot Springs won, man, it was a huge. And when Don won the title, man, it was a huge reception. Everybody was like, it was a big deal. I could only imagine. You know what I mean? The amount of support you have and how big Peak is. I saw their events and they're huge, man.
Yeah.
They got like stadiums packed. Like I said, they've been around for a minute. So.
Pyramid.
Pyramid. I'm sorry. Yeah, Pyramid. Their events are packed, man.
They are. For sure. They fill the doors and, the stuff a little bit more extra in there. Yeah. So, that's why I enjoy fighting for Pyramid.
Well, like you said, they had that consistency, man. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. They got 15 coming up. You've got Avery fighting on that card.
He's gonna be defending his title against
He's going to be defending his Brandon Metermeyer. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
I haven't done.
I think that's how you say his last name.
think
If
that's-
it's not, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
But,
sounds right.
Yeah, that sounded right.
Sounds great. But and then you got Jaden fighting for another title. March 21st.
Yep, just found out about that
Man.
yesterday.
TBD.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have any? Boy,
Announced,
Do you
yeah.
have any? Oh, I don't even think Peak has a heavyweight title.
Nah, Peak ain't got no heavyweight title.
They've been trying to
Offer me to fight a little bit, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, I was just because I remember that Cody Beck and Alex Seward was their first heavyweight fight ever. I think.
I'm sure Cody Beck will eventually get the offer since he fought with them the first
Like I
one.
said, that's their first. Yeah, he was their
Yeah.
first heavyweight fight, and he dominated that win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in a dominating
Right.
fashion, he really showed. You know what I mean? That he had more talent than what.
Yeah, I'd like to see Cody fight a real skilled opponent for the next fight.
Yeah.
Well, just between his last fight and this fight, he showed a leap and bound. But he had 3 years between training and shit. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he showed a huge, leap in ability.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him fight some competition too. I think it's gonna be really cool.
You know what I mean? I just didn't know if you had any plans to reach out to another, company or.
Promotion.
I mean, the
promotion.
Yeah.
the promotion that I'm looking to fight for next is LFA. To be honest, I'm not really interested in fighting for anybody around here locally besides Pyramid. Really, the next level for me would be LFA. So I'm hoping, pretty much after this fight.
Because you're just dominating people. Right? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Your fights
I
have pretty
imagine
much been.
eventually you're gonna get a bigger.
Yeah, I would
opportunity.
love. Like I said, I'm gonna.
Be humble and take this fight in consideration and focus on it, but hopefully come out with the win, and then either try to fight with LFA if the promoter contacts me, or possibly fight for Pyramid and Rogers after that. So
Well, so what is LFA?
LFA is Legacy Fighting Championship. It's kind of, Alliance, excuse me, not championship. And it's like the big leagues for the amateurs,
Yeah,
Or at least that's how we feel, anyways. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Gary, but
Like that's the big promotion to
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah.
A lot of
a lot of UFC fighters are actually signed from LFA, like the pro fighters are.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the that's kind of like the big show.
Yeah, I think. I saw Dana White looking for a fight. I think they covered one of those, and they signed Anthony Pettis' little brother or something like that, or his little cousin. I think he was fighting out of an LFA.
Yeah, they definitely do a lot of. He goes to a lot of LFA shows.
I think that, as I said, it sounded familiar to me. That's what I was asking. What about Jaden? What has been the crazy, like, as far as in his corner, what's been the craziest moment? Like, you guys are like, oh!
Let me see.
At the end of round one.
Alon's first fight. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm not gonna say what happened.
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
But
before.
yeah,
But yeah, that was.
it was fun.
Oh, so now you guys had that, there was,
Well,
you can't talk about the corner.
Yeah, we can't really.
Forgot about
what happened in the
that.
corner man's corner stays in the corner man's corner.
Understood. Like
You
I
know
said,
what
yeah,
I'm
that,
saying?
that's
That's my thing. I never, like, you guys don't have to say anything that
Yeah.
you don't want out there. That's totally fine. Where they say we're all positive.
I mean, we didn't cheat or nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I always feel blessed when I'm in Jaden's corner because, like, I feel like when he's in there fighting and we have, like, this connection because, like,
Yeah, it was a bond.
I'm so hyped, especially, like, even when I'm not cornering him, I'm guaranteed he told me, like, you can hear me because my voice carries so much.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you were
I'm so loud, you hear me.
animated.
Ooh, Brett. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
you hear
I
that
don't
shit.
care what anybody says around me. Like, that's my boy. I'm going to be
Yeah.
supporting him louder than anybody in there. And if I'm right there in this corner, I'm going to make sure that he sees everything that I see from the side, because there's going to be certain things when he's in a position that he's not going to be thinking about. And that's why we're in there. That's why we're in the corners, to be his eyes on the outside.
Exactly.
And it's and like I said it before, that a lot of guys you'll see they don't listen to their coaches, but there has to be like a level of trust there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like yo, Jay's not gonna listen to you if he doesn't trust you. Like
I'm
if he
saying
thought you were
that's
some
true.
whack ass fighter and you didn't know what you're talking about, he's not gonna listen to you. You know what I mean? If he thought you didn't know what you were talking about, he's not gonna listen to you.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean. There has to be like I said, there has to be that rapport.
Or that level of respect to where you're like, all right,
You know what I'm saying? Someone gives you some bad advice. If you gave him some terrible advice,
Right,
you're like, drop your hands. He gets knocked the fuck out.
Right.
He's gonna be like, son of a bitch.
Well,
You know,
that's exactly what
But
I was
same
saying.
with LeBron. You know, there's actually been a time, you know, when Jaden was like, he's going for the Kimura. And Jay was like, at the end of the fight, he told me, he's like, dude, that helped me so much when you told me about that Kimura.
Yeah.
It's like I said, you know, like, he could be on his back and the dude could be on top of him and on the rear. You know what I'm saying? And Jaden's looking down, so how is he going to see that the dude's about to throw a punch? So when we yell cover, or, you know.
Yeah.
I saw Ashton Kirby get put in a buggy choke, and he didn't even know what the hell happened. And then when he realized, he was like, "Oh shit, this guy's got me in a buggy choke." You know, it's like you can't see the whole fight.
Yeah.
Like there's a point on film where Brenner was talking about, you see someone's arm come out to finish the buggy choke, and you're like, whose arm is that? Because they were so wrapped up. You know what I mean? There's stuff that, and it's like the whole time he was on his back, and he didn't know what the dude was doing because he can't see his back. He didn't see what the dude. You know what I mean? You can only kind of feel and see what's going on. It's just. You have to have that trust, you know what I mean? That's definitely awesome that you guys have that, for sure. But, well, man, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, talking to us. Most definitely. Appreciate you guys kicking it with us, getting all this good footage and stuff like that. For sure, we had a good time, man. Thank you for coming on. Anything you want to get out before we get off here?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to 501 Fight Club.
Hell yeah.
501.
We can't wait to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait to get in there, man, and do the promos. We're super excited about that. Like, we're ready to do this documentary, my guy. It's you know what I mean. It's probably it'll probably take about a year. Like I said, it'll probably take about a year and a half for the documentary, but it's gonna be well worth it. Like I said, we're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? We want between now and then, I'm making the move. I'm hopefully gonna try to get that production camera. That's the next step.
I feel you.
If not, we have good enough equipment, but we're gonna get a better. We're gonna get a production cam one way or another. I have to. But thank you for coming out, my guy. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, go check out the Avery Wilson and Jaden Webb interviews. I actually don't know if I'm going to release this before or after I release those. I'll probably release it after. Go watch those if you haven't seen them yet. Go check out our YouTube. Check out Jaden's highlight. Be on the lookout for Avery's highlight. I'll probably be throwing that up after he kicks some ass and defends his fucking title. And then we'll probably be doing another one after Jaden wins his second title, and we'll get him back in it for another interview. You know what I mean? And then we're going to get Avery another title, and then we'll get him back in here with 4 belts.
4 belts.
And we will flex.
Oh, yeah.
We will for
Fill
real
this
flex.
whole table up right
LFA
here.
title,
Absolutely.
let me get it.
Just fill
I'm
them all
telling you,
up.
man.
Super excited. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out 501 Fight Club. Shout out C. Mallard Media. Gemini Snow Photography. Shout out Jackknife Barbershop. Anybody else up top I can't think of? Shout out Boogie. Shout out Bushwick Productions. Shout out Bam the producer. Shout out all the Arkansas artists that are going to be on our Cypher. I'm just now going to say that on this. If you guys haven't already announced it, we're doing the Cypher. We're going to get a bunch of artists in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out our YouTube. Thank you guys.